Obviously, we ruined the party up in the Northeast yesterday with a 3-2 win against Newcastle, which, you know, was probably a straightforward win, wasn't it, yesterday? Pretty much.
Not as straightforward as it should have been.
Yeah, I mean, apart from the first 5 minutes when we were really under pressure, I mean, and apart from that last minute own goal, pretty much, it was plain sailing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I thought we dominated. I thought we really, it was the most dominant performance I think we've had this season, where we really didn't give the opposition a chance. I thought defensively we really pushed really high up, really aggressive, pressing really effectively. It was a delight to see at times us knocking the ball around, playing really nice, pretty football. The only annoying thing for me is in the second half, playing a lot of nice football without really hurting the opposition. It was always too easy for us. You know, there are some games where it's like, there are some games where you have so much possession and the opposition have absolutely nothing, where it's so easy that you kind of let your guard down. And that's kind of how I felt was in the second half, because the chances, we didn't create anywhere near enough chances in the second half that we should have done for the possession we had.
I would say that a proper outfit yesterday, a proper really strong outfit yesterday would have battered Newcastle 4-5-0 yesterday.
Yeah, we should have got the fourth, fifth and the fifth goal. Absolutely. And that's a bit of a frustration. And obviously it nearly cost us at the end, and that's even more frustrating because that can happen in football. If when you have that period of such serious domination, you can't just rest on your laurels and think the whole game is going to just be like that.
We've seen it so many times, haven't we?
Exactly. The amount of times you've just been in complete control, and then something happens like the Dyer incident, and even with 10 men, it's like that happens, and then another slice of luck, and it's 3-0. You know what I mean? And that can happen. So you got to make sure you can make the game out of sight at that point. And we didn't quite do that. I don't think we obviously took the game to Newcastle. We didn't put them to the sword, I don't feel, in the second half, as much as we dominated and we were playing nice football. And yeah, we didn't give them a chance.
XG yesterday of 1.5.
Yeah, it wasn't enough. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
they had an XG of 0.5.
Yeah, so I think we restricted them really well, but I think it was almost too easy to stop them. That's why we didn't kind of move forward with our own attacking enough in terms of really trying to get that next goal. So that's the only frustrating thing. But I think in the first half we were really clinical. I don't think we were creating tons of chances, but we stopped them creating. We were dominating the ball, and then when we had the opportunities to open them up, we did, and we did so clinically and ruthlessly, which was really good to see.
Definitely. Do you think now this is the kind of the last two games, 4-2, 3-1? This is the blueprint now of a Nuno side to move forward into the season now.
Yeah, I think that
it's clearly working a lot better than 4-3-3. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think having Ndombele a bit further forward, having that protection of Skip and Højbjerg in the pivot, mopping things up, and obviously having Højbjerg a bit more free, like bit of a box-to-box role, and having Skip just sit there in front of the back four. It's giving us much better balance. I do feel like, you know, once we come up against a much better side, we'll see how it fares, because obviously Villa is a good side, and we did really well against them. And then obviously Newcastle, it's hard to judge. They're 19th, and I know they had they seemed up for it, but once we scored our first goal, they I think reverted to type yesterday, Newcastle. So I still think there might be some issues with this team along the way against better teams. But I think for now, I think that Nuno's got a very nice balance in the team against, you know, either the bottom 10 or like teams of similar quality to us. I think the balance is right, where we're very, very solid, and we know we have superior quality in the front line to most teams. Most teams would love Kane and Son and players like Lucas and Ndombele. So if we get them in situations where they've got space to play with and they're linking up together, and they've got a base at the back where they're not worried about losing the ball all the time and tracking back, because they know they've got a solid base behind them, which allows also the fullbacks to go forward. I think the balance is a lot better. It's a lot better, and that's positive. But with Skip and Højbjerg, as much as I love them, I think they're playing very, very well at the moment. It remains to be seen whether, when they're really put under pressure, they can handle beating presses and stuff like that and progressing the ball under serious pressure, because they're great players off the ball, but on the ball, I think they've done great. But are they? Is it good enough? It's good enough to be better than what we were doing before, but is it good enough to really be challenging for top 4. I think that still remains to be seen. We still need a player in the centre, I feel, who can really be on the half turn and progress the ball forward. And they're good at getting the ball forward under no pressure, but under pressure, we'll have to wait and see. I don't think they've been proper tested yet.
Fair, that's a fair point. And on the fullbacks, Reguilon yesterday, I thought, it's definitely close to, if not the best performance from him in a Spurs shirt, in my opinion. What did you make out of his performance? And can you name a performance from him that's been better than that in a Spurs shirt?
Not off the top of my head, but I think it was good. It was a really good performance from Reguilon. He looked really attacking, really. He looked really direct going forward. He was taking on his man. He was looking confident. Defensively, he didn't have much trouble, but except for obviously the first goal where he was, we'll go through it in a minute, but he was doubled up on. I think he probably has had better performances, but I still think he played really well. I think he played really well.
The only downside to his performance yesterday was probably his delivery in the box. I didn't think that was too good.
Yeah, it could have been a bit better.
He was getting in the great positions time and time again and attacking their fullbacks.
Got Shelby sent off as well.
Yeah, and he got Shelby sent off, Lord Voldemort himself. So I think that really good performance from Reguilon, and I think the way he impacted that game, I personally think it's definitely up there. Maybe not the out-and-out best, but definitely up there with one of his best performances in the Spurs shirt, that's for sure.
Yeah, and he seemed very, very confident. He seemed very confident providing that outlet, and he was able to go forward. And I think as well, having that pivot of Højbjerg and Skip gives not confidence to the forward players, but also confidence to the fullbacks to get forward a bit more, and knowing they have a bit of protection if they do lose the ball, and not being too worried about being caught out of position, which I think was a big worry.
Oh, he got an assist yesterday, Reguilon.
For which goal?
For Ndombele's.
Oh, yeah, he did get an assist, to be fair. That was, he got an assist. Yeah,
an assist's an assist.
To be fair, he actually did really well for that goal, actually, thinking about it. Because it was a great touchdown from Dyer's pass, and then passed it into Ndombele, who he still had a lot to do in Ndombele, didn't he? But it was
can we talk about Sonny's goal, please?
Yeah.
That goal.
What a great goal.
What a goal.
Goal.
That touch from Lucas Moura to get it past that defender or whoever it was, to play it into Harry Kane, and Harry Kane just a lovely slot it into Heung-min Son.
Should we go through the goals?
Let's go through them.
Let's go through. So I've got like a few screenshots we can analyze how we think what happened with each goals and stuff. And so, all right, let's bring up. This is the first goal. First thing I want to mention with the first goal is Joel Linton passes it here to Willock, and I'm not really sure why. Skip is around that area. I don't know why he's not so tight to Willock. But look, if at that point you think the defense is all nice and settled, this is in the first minute, you don't think there's too many issues here. Mm-hmm. But once we get out to say Maximam, all of a sudden Reguilon, Manquillo overlaps. Son's not really tracking. Skip doesn't get out wider because he's thinking about Joe Willock over here. So, one sec. He's thinking about Joe Willock over here. So he's not going out wide to say Maximam, who is the danger man. Son's not really tracking the fullback, which leaves a 2-on-1 over here between Reguilon. Oh, my drawing's not the best. Draw Reguilon and say Maximam over there.
Don't have Jamie Carragher's drawing skills.
Yeah, I need a pen or something.
This should be doing on the iPad.
Yeah, but so that leaves a 2-on-1. So Reguilon doesn't really know who to go with, because if he goes with Manquillo, then you also got all that space for say Maximam there. But if he goes to say Maximam, obviously Manquillo ends up doing neither, and obviously Manquillo gets a free run. But in this position, you're thinking, look, there's 3 here. There's 3 there, and there's 3 here. But Dyer's not really marking anyone. Dyer's at the front post marking no one. Then there's a 3-on-2 at the back post there. Obviously, he doesn't go to the back post, but once Manquillo gets the ball, Romero is actually in a good position against Wilson, but he's not really aware of his surroundings. Which is
That's
why
the
Wilson
thing with Romero, yeah.
But why is there why is Dyer? I feel like the defense is split all over the place, because why is there a 3-on-2 at the back there? Joe Linton's there. Joe Linton's here, absolutely free if he finds him. If he goes across, because Emerson, I think, is marking here, Longstaff. Romero's got Wilson. Dyer's just got no one. So I think that had to be probably sorted out before. And obviously they got the goal. Wilson got in front of Romero, and they got a goal out of it. I think it got sorted out generally throughout the game, but the first goal, the defence was a bit of a shambles, wasn't it?
Yeah, it looks as though literally everyone's being pulled all over the place. I mean, Dyer's just in complete no man's land there, isn't he? And like you said, Romero's in a good position, but doesn't have any awareness that Wilson's coming off the back of him.
There he is. He's watching. You can clearly see he's watching the ball, and he's not looking over his shoulder to where Wilson
And Emerson
is.
as well is not really aware of what's going on with these two players here, but he's got two players on him.
Yeah. So the defender was a bit of a shambles for the opening 2 minutes. Thankfully, it didn't carry on that way. But then again, Newcastle didn't get into too many opportunities.
That's the thing. That's the thing. After that 5 minutes of dominance, they had nothing pretty much.
How many more times did Manquillo get forward like that? I can't remember too many times.
I don't think any.
So this is our first goal. Eric Dyer obviously plays really nice. Where is it? Plays a really nice ball over there to Reguilon. It's a really nice ball actually, because he takes it down really effectively. He's there. Ndombele obviously makes that run into this kind of area once Reguilon takes it down, and he does really well with his close control, because that defender's quite close to him here. This defender here is quite close to Reguilon, so if his touch isn't great, Manquillo's going to intercept him. But because his close control was so good, he was able for Ndombele to make that run in just on the edge of the box. And obviously, once he gets there, it's a great finish. It's a great finish into the far corner. And
Unbelievable finish.
Not quite like that. There we go. Nice finish into the far corner by Ndombele, but not too many men around him, so he did have a lot of space.
He did.
That's Lascelles there, so close. There's no Hayden that close to him or any defensive. There's no midfielder. Midfielder's not in sight really when he's there.
It's just such a fantastic finish, though, wasn't it?
Yeah,
absolutely fantastic. What was it? One touch and bang.
But it's very rare against the better sides. He's going to have so much space on the edge of the box.
Of course,
to get a finish like that. So I think that's something to note. But also, it was a great finish to bend it round Lascelles there into the far corner. Wasn't the easiest of finishes. This is the Harry Kane, obviously offside. I've got to say, the Højbjerg's pass not getting anywhere near enough credit, I don't think. Here he is here in the centre. I think, obviously the line is terrible by Newcastle. Manquillo definitely keeping Kane on side here, but for Højbjerg to pick out that pass through to Harry Kane there over the top. Really impressive, because he gets it. He literally cancels out two banks of four, just with one pass through the centre, and he is starting to really show off a bit of his on-the-ball ability.
And that's exactly what I was talking about in the post-match fan show as well, with Ollie Skip just like sitting there in the base and just letting people strut their stuff. So that doesn't happen probably if Ollie Skip's not protecting the back four and stuff.
Yeah, I reckon. Because I think obviously there's Ollie Skip here, and there's Ollie Skip there just behind him. And I think if Højbjerg doesn't have Skip there and he has another player in front of him, I think he would be tempted to just go a bit shorter with the fear of losing the ball, kind of thing, without having
because he's got the protection behind him. He knows that he can do stuff more expansively.
Do you reckon I can draw a straight enough line to see if it's offside or not?
The line's on the grass anyway.
The line's on the grass, exactly. But it was definitely onside. I think he timed his run to perfection.
It was definitely onside.
And then obviously, I also think with Harry Kane, the ball comes running through, and if you notice, he doesn't take a touch. He waits for the key. He doesn't even look at the keeper. He kind of feels like the keeper's coming, even behind him. And I think before the international break, we saw a few times against Villa. When he was going through on goal, he just seemed a bit hesitant and he was taking too many touches and ended up screwing the chance. But with this finish, I think it's a bit more evidence of the confidence of Harry Kane coming back, because he doesn't take a touch, he knows where the keeper is, and he just effortlessly lobs it over him without thinking again.
And that's where Kane's pure instinct, isn't it?
That's where Kane is at his best. I remember when he went through that run of not scoring in his first 9 games. I remember it wasn't that he wasn't trying or anything. It was just every time he got the ball, he was overthinking it. I remember everyone was saying it. He's overthinking it, taking too many touches. He's not doing things on instinct. He's not getting shots off purely based on when instinctively he thinks is the right moment. He's thinking too much about when to shoot and things like that. And when he's at his best, Harry Kane, it's when he doesn't have too much time to think about it. He just gets the shot off on instinct, and he knows where the goal is. And I think that's what showed again yesterday.
Yeah, I completely agree. And last season as well, not just his finishing instinct, but his crossing instinct. And sometimes, like you say, it's just complete split second decisions, like those crosses for the Southampton goals. Remember last season when we beat Southampton 5-2?
Yeah, that was it, pure instinct.
You know what I mean?
He knows where Son is and just instinct.
Exactly, that's what I'm trying to say. So I think you're absolutely right. That is where Kane is completely at his best, not just in front of goal, but assisting as well.
Yeah, I completely agree. So I think that showed a bit more of it yesterday. And then for the third goal, let's talk about the third goal. So it really was a great team move, the third goal. So you got like Ndombele here, and he's got 3 men around him here in Ndombele. Trying to get there you go. But it's 3 men around him, and he's got Lucas obviously in support. Not much support there. Kane's there, he's offside. He's got obviously Lucas behind him. But because Tongi is such a great finisher, a great dribbler, he somehow manoeuvres the dribble to get into this position, turning away from Willock in effortless fashion, like as if he wasn't there, which is always so impressive about Tongi. So he literally manoeuvres the ball, so all 3 men are all of a sudden behind him, and he's got Lucas to pass into over here, which is very, very impressive. Obviously, he's got Lucas to pass into there. Lucas obviously has Hayden challenging him, and then he dinks it around him, which was a brilliant touch.
What a bit of skill
unbelievable
that was.
touch
That was really
it was
good.
by Lucas Moura, but it was a great link up between him and Tongi. And then he's in this position. He takes a touch around Hayden, but you got to say this is a difficult pass as well, because
slips it right in, doesn't it?
You got
right on the money, Lucas.
Right through there to Harry Kane, but you got 3 men. He's got to avoid in getting to this pass.
Threading through the eye of the needle, mate.
So it was quite effective to get Kane obviously well onside. This player here who's marking Son. Son obviously in a dangerous position. He's keeping Kane well onside. And then once Kane is in behind, there's Son. All he has to do is very simple. All Son has to do is peel away. Kane gets the ball across the face of goal, and there you go. Easy does it.
Yeah.
But it's a great team goal. I thought Lucas and Ndombele.
That was all
Kane
about
and Son
Ndombele and Lucas, really, that goal. It really was. I mean, like you said, the way Ndombele turned away from those 3 players, the way Lucas threaded it through just after that mad bit of skill he did. I mean, that was all made by those 2 players, that goal.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
Sensational. Both of those. To be honest, it was a great team performance yesterday. I thought there wasn't a bad performer on the pitch yesterday.
Just only one real serious blot, and that was the next goal.
Yeah.
And that was obviously Eric Dyer. And if you see here, for the goal, obviously, this is the own goal. Eric Dyer here, no one's challenging him. He's got no one really around him. Joe Linton's getting marked there by Harry Kane. At the back post, Emerson's got that covered. So he doesn't really have anything to worry about. He's just got the ball to deal with. That's all he has to worry about. And it's at a decent height for him to deal with it. He's got a lot of time. But look how low the ball is here. Why is he trying? I don't understand.
I'm sorry, a lot of people have been saying this. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people saying, "Oh, you can't blame Eric Dyer for that. It's a complete.
You can blame him for that.
It's a complete. What's it called? It's just one of those things." And I was like, "Come on, man. He's completely unchallenged. He goes for a header. It hits his knee, and then it goes into the back of the net in our own net. Of course, you can blame Eric Dyer. It's so clumsy.
He could have easily volleyed that. He could have easily volleyed that just out for a corner or away from goal. And he decides to go. I don't know. First of all, if he does head that, where's he heading it to? You know what I mean? Where's that going? Is he trying to cushion that back to the keeper? You know, what's the plan here if he does head it? So I think heading, even if it was like a decent height, I'm not sure where a header leads him. Maybe he's thinking to head it out of goal, out of play like there, but even there is like a risk. So I don't know why he goes for the head, but it's also so low down. Look how low down the ball is. How is he looking to head that? Obviously, it hits his knee. It does obviously hit his knee and just goes past Lloris there. And obviously led up to a nervy finish. But Eric Dyer,
he might be just planning to head it out to like Lucas Moura out on the wing or something. Something like that, just to relieve a bit of pressure.
Away like here?
Yeah.
I don't see that. His head...
Or a bit more square.
But even that's dangerous with players.
Yeah, it's
there.
dangerous, but
I wouldn't
a
have
lot
done
less
that.
dangerous than what he did.
Yeah, obviously he got it in the back of the net. But look, in terms of Eric Dyer, I want to say that I did think in general he had a really good game yesterday, and I think a lot of the criticism is over the top because of the manner of the goal. Because in general, I did think he had a great game, but
Yeah, but
we've
it's the
said
same
it so many
story all the
times.
time.
We've
It's
said
the
it so
same
many-
story.
It was very similar to last season against Newcastle. He had a great game that game, and then last minute he gives away a handball.
Exactly.
And like it just happens so often with Eric Dyer, where he's playing really well, and he's having a really solid game. And I think not only off the ball, his aggression and defending, I think on the ball as well, he was really big. Reason of us progressing the ball forward in good positions and getting the ball forward well, but he obviously makes that mistake that gives it a nervy finish, which should never really have come to pass.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And Eric Dyer, it's just the same thing over and over again, really. Like you say, has good game and then just lets us down, really. And we still have to persist with him, don't we, at centre-back with Romero alongside him, in my opinion.
I think because he's obviously him and Romero are the most comfortable players on the ball as well. Allows us a bit more domination when we have the ball. So I think that's one of the main reasons we have to persist with it for the time being and try and get him to cut out those mistakes as much as possible. I wouldn't drop him after that just because of that mistake. I think it sends out the wrong message.
I think Jose might have.
I don't think he would have after a win.
Maybe.
A win. I think if that would have cost us a result, I think he might have. But I think after a win like that, I think it sends out the wrong. If Nuno would drop him because of that, I think it sends out the wrong message.